Yo, what it do? It's your boy Zibaka, and welcome to part 2 of ranking every single shotgun in Call of Duty Zombies. I explained how I ranked it, and the past was it 20, 21 guns in the first part, which you can watch by clicking on the info icon up there. So I'm not going to spend too much time explaining how this list works, but for a quick summary, I am ranking every single shotgun from every single Call of Duty Zombies from World at War up until Cold War, not including Vanguard because it sucks and I don't even have it, and I'm including the non-Treyarch games such as World War II, Advanced, and Infinite Warfare. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and let me know what ranking I should do next. I did make a pistols video before this, but it's not nearly on par with what I want it to be. So yeah, anything's fair game, just not wonder weapons, because I have not gotten the Black Ops 4 pass yet. It never goes on discount. Alright, to get right into the list, starting with our number 20 spot, is the Stakeout from Black Ops 1. Picking up right where we left off from the last video, the Stakeout is extremely similar to the trench gun from World at War. The two main differences being, one, the trench gun has a slightly lower damage than the Stakeout. In its base form, they do the same damage pack-a-punched. And in this game, the Stakeout is actually a wall buy on most maps, if not all of them. It's a very good wall buy to get early game, and it will last you through pretty good into the mid-rounds. It's a standard shotgun that is very reliable, and it's decent enough on its own, but when compared to some of the shotguns in the higher tiers, it sort of falls behind. At number 19 is the M30 Luftwaffe Drilling from COD World War II. The better double-barrel shotgun that is actually starting room wall buy on the final Reich. It is a huge improvement over the sawed-off shotgun, and it's really disappointing to see that it did not return as a wall buy on those maps, though you can still get it in the mystery box. And it has very high penetration for a shotgun, plus if you want to get extra funky with it, you can put a rifle bullet in the third chamber. Still, what majorly holds it back is the ammo capacity and the reload speed, because it still is a double-barrel shotgun. A very good one of the best we've seen since World at War, but it's still, it's just still a double-barrel shotgun. It's 2 shots, 3 pack-a-punch, and then you gotta run away. Moving on to number 18 is a weapon that sort of fell from grace when the game launched, the HAUER 77 from Black Ops Cold War. Now I remember that everyone was arguing whether the HAUER or the GALLO was better, but as time went on and the HAUER got nerfed a couple of times, the GALLO came out on top. And the HAUER is still a decent pump-action shotgun, and by Cold War standards, it's okay. Cold War weapons in general are much more powerful than the older ones, but the HAUER falls behind since it's still a slower pump-action shotgun that doesn't get too much of an increase in power when you pack-a-punch it, and it unfortunately loses out to the 2 other non-pump-action shotguns in the same game. At number 17 is a joke weapon that was introduced into Advanced Warfare, got very good perception to zombies, and returned in World War II, the Blunderbuss. The Blunderbuss on its own is, well, it's kind of sucks on its own. But when you pack-a-punch into the Thunderbuss, it basically becomes a more spectacular acid cat with decent damage. Like, all that I can really say about the Blunderbuss in World War II is just, in the name, the Thunderbuss. It is a very, very fun weapon to use. The explosion, I feel, does less damage than it should, but you still do a lot of damage on the first shot with the explosions that follow as well. However, the main weakness of the gun is, quite obviously, both the reload time and you only have a single shot in the chamber. While not as powerful as the Advanced Warfare counterpart in my opinion, I feel that it is much more unique and much more fun to use. However, it's still more of a gimmick weapon than an actual viable one, so it can't really break the top 15 of the list. At number 16 is the first and best double-barrel shotgun, the double-barrel shotgun from World at War. While it's a double-barrel shotgun, I actually find it to be faster than the trench gun because combining speed cola and the pack-a-punch reload upgrade, you're going to be doing a lot more damage a lot faster than the trench gun in that same game. It's a very good gun and it's a wall buy, so you can just grab it, use it until honestly pretty good into the rounds, and it's just a really good gun. I was surprised when I used it. Oh, and I'm only counting the original, not the sawed-off with grip version, because it is quite literally the same gun. It even has the same pack-a-punch name. And at number 15 is the Blunderbuss again from Advanced Warfare. And unfortunately, I have never actually used this gun myself. I didn't want to buy the DLC that had the Blunderbuss because it got mostly negative reviews on Steam and it was just for one gun. I didn't want to spend $7 just for one gun. So I'm really just kind of saying this off of what other people say, and other people say that the blunderbuss is very good in that game, and watching video, it just, I don't really have too much to say about it. I really hope that number 15 is a good enough spot. Just, I didn't want to not include this, so yeah, here you go. Here you go. I'm sorry. Alright, moving on to number 14, a gun that I actually have used, the toggle action from World War II. The game's resident semi-auto shotgun, and as the trend goes with most semi-auto or full-auto shotguns in zombies games, it's pretty damn good. This shotgun has a very high fire rate compared to the other shotguns, it does decent damage, and it's mag-fed. So it basically sets itself apart from every other shotgun in World War II to be the only really viable one in my opinion for the later rounds. The M30 is pretty good since you can wall buy it, but anyways. By pure stats, the toggle action loses out a bit in the damage department, but the fire rate by far makes up for it and is very good at taking out special enemies. At number 13 is the only really viable shotgun in Infinite Warfare, the REAVER semi-auto shotgun. It's a wheel-only gun. There's nothing really special to say about it besides the fact that it is a pretty good semi-auto shotgun with higher damage than I'd expect. But yeah, in terms of shotguns, it's really the only one that you can really consistently use in the game, since the pump shotguns just don't really have high enough damage to be viable, and the REAVER has that damage plus the fire rate and is mag fed. So, by process of elimination, it's a good gun. Following up the REAVER at number 12 is the final non-Treyarch shotgun on this list, the Cell 3 CAUTERIZER from Advanced Warfare. Now, everyone was saying that this is actually a wonder weapon. It's not. It's usable in multiplayer. Though I guess you could say that about the Venom X, but the Venom X was added to multiplayer after it was added to zombies. Anyways, moving off on a tangent. Yeah, the Cell 3 CAUTERIZER. It's a little bit of an awkward shotgun to use since it has a slower fire rate for the first couple of shots. But you just gotta hold down the trigger and run to a horde. It is very good when you do that. It runs out of ammo kind of quickly when you do, but the sheer damage you're getting out of it by just rampaging with it, it makes it probably the best weapon in Advanced Warfare that's not a wonder weapon. Not to mention, for some odd reason you can use it while you're down, so it's basically the Resident Ray gun without even being a wonder weapon. It is pretty fucking good. Once you get used to the delayed fire rate plus get the extended mags upgrade from the upgrade machine, it's just it decimates. At number 11 is by far and away the absolute best shotgun in Black Ops 2, the KSG, only found on Origins. It's unfortunate that such an iconic shotgun was only available on one map and not even the remake, but on the map that it was in, it was pretty good. The KSG definitely excels more in the higher rounds because of its slug that can do upwards of 5,000 damage, making it one of the most highest damaging shotguns, if not the highest, in COD Zombies history. Packer punching it gives you a reflex sight, extended mags, and a ton of fucking damage. Its reload is pretty quick for a pump action shotgun, and all around it is a very good gun. It's just a bit harder to use on the lower round because it's a slug and not a spread, and the high damage makes it so you're always just killing 1 or 2 zombies per shot. And breaking into the number 10 slot is a bit of a sleeper pick in my opinion, the SPAS 12 from Black Ops 1. Now I think the SPAS 12 was slept on a little bit because most of the shotguns in Black Ops 1 weren't the best in the world, and everyone just wanted the Commando or the Galileo or the ray gun, etc. But if you got the SPAS 12 out of the box, you had a weapon with a lot of potential on your hands. It can go up to 24 shots in Packer Punch, and it has a very unique reload. It reloads 24 shells in only 2 reloads. I know that's a little bit confusing to say, but just trust me, it has very good reload, has great magazine capacity. It becomes a fully automatic weapon with Packer Punch, and its damage is really pretty good. In a game where the shotguns were a bit mediocre at best, the SPAS 12 really stands out. You know, not even just shotguns, a lot of the weapons in Black Ops 1 are mediocre. So having such an iconic gun, the SPAS 12, be the best shotgun in Black Ops 1, it's a good thing to see. At number 9 is another, I think, underrated weapon, the Streetsweeper from Cold War. Now, a lot of people passed on this gun because its reload is so agonizingly long, which it is. I'm not saying that's wrong at all, but the fire rate is great, the damage is really good, and when you pack a punch it, it reloads 5 shells at a time, and I believe if you have the full magazine capacity, it can go up to 45 shells. Plus, if you're running Mule Kick, you don't even have to reload it. You just store it, then pull it back out again. It's a very slept on gun and is a very good get out of my way, I'm in fucking trouble gun. You just pull it out, hold down the trigger, and just fucking run. You put Shatter Blast on it as well, you're not going to get cornered. Not to say that there's not 8 other ways to get heavy and cornered in Cold War Zombies, but as a gun, it's pretty good. If you still play Cold War, go unlock the Street Sweeper and use it in Zombies. I guarantee it's a fun time. At number 8 is the 205 BRECCI from BRECCI from Black Ops 3. And yeah, we're breaking into the greats. And even at number 8, the 205 BRECCI is a damn good shotgun. It is a high damage mag-fed semi-auto shotgun. And hearing just those 3 descriptions at once means it's gonna be a good one. And it definitely was. In multiplayer, it absolutely dominated. In Zombies, it was his fan favorite. It's my brother's favorite, but I'm personally more of a Haymaker guy. Anyways, even though it has great damage and a pretty good magazine size, I think what sort of holds it back for me is the fire rate. It's not super quick, and it's a little bit awkward for me to use. Though that's more of a personal preference thing, and I think that it is very viable to put the BRECCI higher on the list. But just in my opinion, it's sort of at the bottom of the sort of kings of the shotguns. And following up the BRECCI at number 8 is the Breccius Robornicus at number 7, also known as the SA-12. I haven't used the SA-12 in Black Ops 4 as much as I used the BRECCI, but the little bit I have used it, it just feels better to me. It has a higher magazine size and a bit more comfortable fire rate in my opinion. So once again, I think between this and the original BRECCI, it's really a bit more of a preference thing, and the reason it's the Breccius Robornicus is that's just the Pack-a-Punch name of it. So yeah, there's a little callback for your Black Ops 3 fans, which is the majority of them. At number 6 is a shotgun that I used to not like at all, until I realized you basically need to Pack-a-Punch it for it to be good, and that is the BANSHII from Black Ops 3, not to be confused with the BANSHII from Infinite Warfare. This is a lot different and a lot better. It's an energy slug shotgun that is absolutely horrendous unpack-a-punched, but when you Pack-a-Punch it, just look at that. Just look at it. It's an interesting weapon to use. It's only found on Revelations, and it took me so long to get this out of the box. I don't know if it has a dumb rarity or whatever, but I used to not like it because the penetration is absolute dog shit when it's not Pack-a-Punch. When you do Pack-a-Punch it, it actually becomes viable, and it just, oh my god, it's so good. The reason that it's not in the top 5 though is because you need to Pack-a-Punch it for it to be viable, and it's a little bit awkward to use, plus it's a box only weapon, and it doesn't have the most ammo. At number 5 is the MOG-12 from Black Ops 4. You can start with this weapon, and it was honestly the go-to gun for nearly every situation, because it just, wow. It was very, very, very broken when the game launched, but over time it got nerfed into just a really good gun rather than the most broken thing you've ever seen. While the ammo capacity of it isn't the greatest, it is a wall weapon on the majority of maps, so you can get it even if you don't start with it, and it's normally just 1 or 2 rooms away. Plus, unpack-a-punch, it only has a 4-round magazine, which is a little bit annoying to work with early game, but it by far makes up for it in power. You just have to manage your ammo and buy ammo when you need to, and it'll get you very far without you even needing to buy another weapon. I think maybe I could have put this higher because I used Dragon's Breath rounds on it when they basically do nothing, but whatever, it's still really good. At number 4 is one of my favorites, the HAYMAKER 12 from Black Ops 3. The HAYMAKER 12 was the game's resident full auto shotgun with a very large magazine size and a pretty respectable ammo count. All around, it was just a pretty good weapon if you knew how to use it. The only downside I could see is that it runs out of ammo pretty fast if you're not careful with it. But it's on every map, and on Shadows of Evil you can even get it out of a pod. I forgot which color it was, I'm assuming red. But either way, the Haymaker is great no matter where you use it, and between this and the BRECCI, it's a bit of a preference thing, but I just think the Haymaker's a little bit better because of the fire rate that makes up for its slightly lower damage. At number 3 is the M1897 Trebuchet from Black Ops 4. Very similar to the trench gun from previous games, but this one is a little bit special when you Pack-a-Punch it. It becomes a grenade launcher. Yeah, it's basically just like the China Lake from Black Ops 1, but better in every single way, and it's, oh my god, I can't believe I slept on this throughout the entirety of Black Ops 4 before one of my friends told me to use it. I finally did, and it is it's so good. Like, it beats out the MOG, that's how good it is. Fast fire rate for a pump action shotgun, it's a wall buy, it has 16 rounds in the mag when packer punched, a respectable ammo count, very high damage, a high blast radius, and its self damage can be mitigated if you use PhD slider. What is there not to like about this gun? Seriously, if you have Black Ops 4 and you passed on the Trebuchet because you thought it was just, you know, your average pump action wall buy shotgun, give it a try again and you will not be disappointed. Like, I know I've said that a lot with some of the other guns on this list, but at this time I genuinely mean it. At number 2 on this list, just shy of the number 1 spot, is the KRM 262 from Black Ops 3. Yet another example of your standard pump action shotgun that is much more than meets the eye. You can get off the wall most maps, either in the starting room or right on the next one. It's a cheap gun that'll get you through the rounds pretty good in the early game. Maybe you're lacking points a little bit, but it by far makes up for it when you pack punch it into the Dagon's glare. It fires very, very fast for a pump action shotgun, does very high damage, beating out both the Haymaker and the 205 BRECCI in most categories, while still being a wall buy gun that is cheap early game and you can buy ammo for it at any time. Despite the relatively small magazine size of 16, it reloads very quickly, a bit similar to the Spots 12 from earlier when you pack a punch it. It reloads its first shell 8 at a time and the other 2 4 at a time, so you can get a full mag in just 3 reloads. The KRM beats out every other Black Ops 3 shotgun and nearly every other shotgun in Call of Duty in nearly every single aspect, only lacking a bit in ammo capacity, magazine capacity, both of which can be mitigated with the reload speed and buying ammo off the wall, and you won't get too many points for using it, but if you go into the later game, you're not going to need points that much anyways. And finally, topping off this long ass list at number 1, the best shotgun in Call of Duty Zombies in my opinion is the GALLO SA-12 from Black Ops Cold War. This gun has been in the meta since the very beginning of the game, where you could always wall buy a blue rarity version of the GALLO in Die Maschine, saving you on scrap and giving you a powerful weapon in the early game. Packer punching the GALLO makes it even more powerful because, you know, of course it does, that's what the packer punch does, gaining a ton of damage, a much larger magazine, and a very respectable ammo pool. And while weapons like the HAUER got nerfed over time, the GALLO, in my opinion, has been relatively untouched and it only got more powerful over time once you could apply blueprints to the wall buy you can get on Die Maschine. And since points aren't really an issue in this game, you can use any weapon you want, so this covers the base that the KRM lacked, which is points. The GALLO can really do almost anything in Cold War. It shreds hordes, it takes out elites super quickly, it gets you points, it's a reliable weapon early and late game. The GALLO definitely has to be the best shotgun in Call of Duty Zombies, and they made it clear once they released a ray gun-like skin that you could buy for the GALLO itself. You even have Treyarch comparing the GALLO to the legendary ray gun. If that's not the proof you need right there, then I don't know what else to tell you. And there you have it. I spent way too long on this, and it probably is not worth it anyways, but the information is out there, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. As I said in the beginning of the video, let me know what category weapons you want me to do next, and I'll get around to it at some point eventually. If the time between this video and the first one is anything to go by, I am not very fast. Still, I hope it was worth the wait, and yeah. Like the video if you enjoyed, leave a comment providing feedback, and subscribe for more content. I will see you guys in the next video, and y'all have a good day. Oh, I made a new outro, by the way. You should stick around for a second.